So we join back in with our adventurers after last week. Ichi had finished scouting out the track for the upcoming Doom Hackra and managed to lay a few little traps and helper holds along the way. On their way back, they ran into a knight of their own order, Arthur Grant. Upon having a nice chat, although Arthur at points seemed disappointed or negative about the way in which Ichi had been trained and the lack of information they seemed to deem their master had given them, before parting ways as Arthur was off to deal with more Zorn around the area. Ichi travelled back to find out that the weaving contest had had some shenanigans, and a bunch of some people got attacked, some people were having heart attack like stuff, and rushed up to find Volu recently recovering, and while doing okay now, still feeling a little tired from the draining of the magic, before wondering where Dante is, who had not been seen for maybe 30 minutes or so. At the point Volu's just feeling like he could maybe get to his feet, the group had received a letter giving them an address in Dante's handwriting, saying there's something they needed to see. The group followed the letter and, upon some investigation, have found what looks to be a wooden, dark wood trapdoor, but upon closer inspection is stitched and woven, made entirely of fabric and almost stitched through the stone itself. We join the group now. As you're sort of looking down through this trapdoor, you can see it like leads down, and it very much looks like walls, but again, all fabrically woven and stitched.
Can I just check? Did we open the door? I thought there was
I mean,
screaming coming from inside the door when
there
we
was
finished last
screeches
time.
and stuff from deeper below. I didn't know if we'd opened
I
yet.
can't. I don't know if we did. I think
It's
because Volley was down.
okay. I'll join with
Volley
you
was
with it shut.
yeah.
I
Thank
was
you.
on the elk.
You were on the elk. Me and Ichi were stood looking at this door, and there
Yeah.
was screaming from
Hmm.
inside the door. And I think
Okay.
that's where you dropped
Yeah, I
us.
don't think we had progressed
I think we were
through
still
said
going,
door
oh
yet.
shit.
Okay. So we
Fine.
join you now. What would you like to do?
I mean, is there even a handle on this thing, right? If it looks like it's
Yeah.
stitched into the
Yeah, and it's like a plushie, imagine
like
somebody
squishy.
stitched a cushion of created a cushion of a trapdoor, and then the bit that's like definitively weird is the stitching that stitches it to the building goes through the stone, and like you check, and it's
Okay.
like that is stone that has a piece of thread stitching through it.
I mean, do we think that Dante's definitely in here? Ichi, can you tell where he is? Just, I mean, how do you keep track of him?
With great difficulty. Luckily, he does bring out a sense of the elemental with them. Each he will, rather than doing a divine sense, will just go for a full, like with as they've kind of like drawn their sword and got their shield ready, they will place the the sword over the eye and kind of strike down. And as that spark kind of happens, light begins to emit and come into Ichi's eyes as I will cast Detect Good and Evil and Good.
Okay.
So yeah, concentration of 10 minutes. I know if there is an aberration, celestial, elemental, fey, fiend, or undead within 30 feet of me, and
What
where that creature is located.
while he's doing that, Liam, I'm gonna sort of
Within how?
wander.
Sorry, what distance? Sorry.
30 feet.
Okay, and Elena, sorry.
So yeah, while he's doing that, I'm gonna quietly sort of edge towards the edge of the roof so that I can look down and wave at Volu. But I'm doing it quietly because I don't want to disturb Ichi while he's
Okay,
doing
yeah,
this.
you can make
So
me a stealth. As you cast this spell, your eyes sort of shift into the different colors that detect the different elements. You're not noticing any immediately up here. However, as you glance across some of the black sort of oil iridescent pools, that gives off fiendish.
Ichi will mutter that to Eleni. Definitely fiendish around.
Okay.
Vola, you would see the wave sort of beckoning you to climb up.
What am I getting from below? Because obviously the spell can't penetrate through like a foot of stone. But
as you look at it,
I'm guessing it's not 3 feet of wood or
no,
whatever.
but as you look at it, it should be able to see through this, and it sees maybe 20 foot through the actual plushie, and then just stops.
Eleni?
Yes.
I think this might be a portal.
To where?
That I don't know.
Vola, you're like climbing your way up and sort of get your way to the top, and you're also able to see this plushy cushion.
Would it resemble anything that I know?
No, and as you sort of getting over the top and hear the word portals, the portals you've seen look nothing like this. I mean, you don't really remember the one because your dryad mother would have told you must have come through one and got lost. But you don't actually really remember that. You were sort of falling and tumbling and running through it. You were a little scared and running away. And you don't remember what that looked like. But the one that she showed you to come back here, maybe about 6 months ago, it was like a tree that looked like it was like a tree, you know, where they've got a large knot that sort of parts and you can sort of step inside it. And your mother did something to it, and it created like a doorway.
I mean, if we go in there after Dante, well, first of all, is it Dante? Second of all, if we go in there, can we come back this way? I mean, how do we?
Can I inspect the trap door? Because I've got proficiency in weaving.
Yeah, you can give me an investigation. You can add your proficiency.
Investigation. 13.
I mean, it's obviously made magically. All of even the fine threads are like really, really finely crafted. It's like a beautiful quality trapdoor plushie.
I mean, we can't leave Dante.
No.
So I suggest
I have a duty of care both to him and to those that the Efreet may affect.
In which case, let's maybe get ready in case there's something hiding behind there, and open the door.
My mace.
I know we've spoken about sticking together, but if this is a portal, are you sure you want to come? I can't ask that of you.
You think I'm going to let you go through there on your own?
Now's your chance to.
You must be really stupid, Ichi.
I'm not the smartest, yes, but also I'm smart enough to know that I don't want you to die.
I think that's our choice. And who says we're going to die? And anyway, I've died once already. Liam, how does my yes? How does my swarm? How's my swarm? Is it just normal reacting to me being nervous, or is there anything else?
Yeah, there is definitely some nervousness. There's definitely a lot of like beyond caution. It doesn't feel comfortable. There's like it's just not natural, that sort of feel to it.
Okay, can I? No, it's all right. I'm gonna pull my bow and just have it knocked and ready, just in case. And then I'm gonna say, open up.
Okay,
I'm still a little bit further away, ready to fire in case there's something on the other side.
Okay, you grab hold of the again, completely fabric handle to this trapdoor and pull it open. You see that it extends down the same, almost like a 5-foot downwards tunnel. Again, entirely now. Once you get past that first lip of the roof, it becomes made of fabric again, completely stitched down the way, and you can see a long fabric rope ladder weaved all the way down the side. It gets about 20 foot down, and then it's just it is at first it just looks dark, but then as you look, there's almost like a slow movement, almost like a very, very thick smoke that's completely black and just sort of almost like when you see with the special drinks and dry ice or whatever, where it's like it floats at that level. There's almost like this smoky texture.
Well, are we ready?
When you
Let's
are.
go.
Okay, what's the order in which we are going down? Because it is a climb unless we are not climbing.
Each will go first.
I think it is a climb.
I'll go in the middle.
Looks like I'm taking up the rear then.
So it's going to be Ichi. Okay, so Eleni, I'm just gonna put you a bit further back.
Shall I swap onto the map, please?
Yes, I'll go as a moment. So you begin descending. Just the sound of almost the creaking of the fabrics. That at times it feels very uncomfortable putting your whole weight on what you know is a knitted ladder, but it holds up the whole way. And as you enter the smoky darkness, all-consuming pitch black, and you climb further down and further down, and you can still hear the others moving and their armor jingling, and as you get further down, you first begin to hear almost like whispers that slowly become whispered shouts and screams, but not enough that you can tell what's being said, but just the volume of it. And as you descend down into a more lit area, you see the room in front of you. A semicircular room, the ladder dropping down in the middle of the flat wall. As you sort of begin to descend, you come out of the smoke 10 foot up the ladder. So you're like 10 foot up still when you suddenly are able to see this room. You can see on the left-hand side a chest, a large broken desk with components spilled all over, a cauldron that's still sort of bubbling and emanating a pink soft glow. On the right-hand side, a large map drawing desk, the ones that can be sort of easeled up. And notes and papers currently strewed all over the place. And on the right, it looks to be some sort of crafting. It looks like, again, but it looks more physical, and so they're putting something together over there. The desk on the far left has been completely snapped in half, and as you look around, and as everybody's climbing down, can everybody give me perceptions? But Ichi, first of all, you would straight away notice the large pool of red blood at the base of the ladder. And the fires. So there are small little fires. Again, as you might expect, this entire room is knitted, stitched, patchworked. All the walls, ceiling, and floors seem to be the same, almost as if you would expect to stand in it and it to give way, but it's solid and sturdy in its structure.
So freaky.
You can see that some of the flames, as you can see from the map, are on bits of paper and bits of things that have been strewn around. But also some of the flames have just caught the actual wall or the floor where it is actually thread and has burned hot enough to catch a light. So, Ichi, your perception, sorry?
21.
So Volu on an 8. Unfortunately, as you come through this Volu, you're sort of just immediately hit by the sort of lights and the fire and the obvious signs of a fight, and you're sort of missing those finer details. However, for Eleni and Ichi, maybe more versed in combat and things of these situations. You both would pick up amongst the red blood, there are splatterings of the black iridescent blood. As you sort of scanning around looking for bodies, you see no bodies, but you do see larger pools of the black ichor, almost covered in ash in some cases. As you see over on the left and right, there are pools and piles of ash sort of scattered around the room. What is very clear is that there was a fight here. And as you're sort of stepping down to the base, Ichi, the blood that is at the base is still wet, as if it were, we're talking minutes.
They've come through recently. Ichi will step off the ladder and kind of like give way for everyone else to come down.
You all begin to step in. Each as you step down, there's the soft of you stepping into the large pool of blood that is unavoidable at the base of this. You can tell that somebody was attacked as they were climbing down the ladder. You can hear the crackling of the flames from around the room, and the soft bubbling of whatever concoction is still going in the corner.
Okay. As we head in,
as you all get down, you would see across from you a set of steel. Again, they are presenting to be steel wooden doors, but the texture from the wall doesn't change, if that makes sense. So it's like it's still, you are imagining still that stitched and woven.
Well, first of all, can I have a look at the blood? And I'm
Which
just
ones?
thinking. Well, I'm thinking I've got medicine and animal handling, but the red blood particularly is, I don't know how I'd know. Does it look like it's human or animal rather than the black
I mean, it
blood?
looks humanoid over the black stuff for sure.
Right.
Each year, as you're sort of scanning around, and you would know this, there is a level of difficulty sometimes with detecting the elemental in things once they're no longer with Dante, if that makes sense. Dante himself gives off the elemental energy because of the extremely powerful creature that sits in him.
Yeah, his blood is not elemental.
His blood is human blood, and once it has been spilled or the energy has been spent, it only sometimes shows. And in this case, with that high 21, you do manage to pick out the traces of elemental still lingering in the quickly cooling blood.
Why can't I grab my character?
Oh, I think because Liam's put us here rather than because.
Yeah, you might have to make it. So
yeah, you might have to pull yourself on. I'll just delete that one.
Okay.
Why is it not doing it?
Drag the name, not the picture.
There we go.
That's Ichi again.
There's two each. I was going to say.
I can move me fine. Yeah.
I bring my echo out.
So Volu, if you just go to character sheets and then click on the name when it highlights blue and hold and click and drag. There you
That's
go.
it.
Ichi kind of like takes a knee down like at one of the smaller bits of blood, kind of like touches it with their fingers. I think this was Dante. There's ever so slight elemental there.
And you would pick up from the black still that fiendish. You also, as you sort of move closer, pick up from the ash piles fiendish. Now, Ichi, give me
as well. Sorry, Liam.
Give me a religion. But hey, Lenny, as you start moving to look at the stuff on the desks, through the doors over the way, and it doesn't sound like immediately through the doors. It's like the echo, and it's only because you got a 25.
Mm-hmm.
You hear almost like a and the sound of a sword like cutting through something.
That's a 7 on religion.
Okay, yeah, you won't be able to pick up the difference on why there's.
So as I hear that, I'm going to hold my hand up and gesture sort of towards the door, and then I'll just whisper, I think they're still fighting.
It wouldn't surprise me. This blood is very fresh. We can always come back and look at this later.
Yes.
Dante needs us.
Okay. Let's
Okay, put yourself in order
Let's
as you
go.
would as you move up to that door.
Yeah, Eleni taking cover at the wall makes sense.
Okay,
Just being able to like peek around with the bow.
You push open the door, and again, just still stitched in, interwoven. It's almost like one large knitted woven piece rather than like sections. There's no joins at the edges, and even the points of like hinges. It's like still grown out of that same point, and the doors are all one piece as you move it to the side. You would see the corridor extends in front of you, and as you open this door, you're almost getting more of the like, and you're hearing more of the noises coming from further down that corridor. Move yourselves as you wish. Is anybody stealthing at all?
Is my stealth still on from earlier, Liam, or do you want me to roll it again?
I would say roll it again. We've moved down a ladder and through a portal.
Yeah.
I'm not stealthing.
No, Elaine is not stealthing. That was pretty rubbish.
Yeah, Ichi's not stealthing.
Well, she thinks she's stealthing. She's just not being very stealthy.
Okay, as she gets to there. So let me just reveal all of what each can see here. So as you get to the end there, you would see that room opens up into a large circular room, and Ichi, as you're looking, the walls you can see seem to be thick, winding, intertwining threads and knots. But you can see in the center a large stitched and woven altar that has currently got some purple and pink crackling energies firing between them. You can hear the slashing and can hear that it's coming from the left of the entrance.
Do I see this individual at the end there?
You do, and they also
see me.
See you. The guy at the far end, you can see, is a humanoid-ish creature standing about 5 foot, hunched over. You can see their entire body is made from snapped, frayed, and broken threads that all hang loose and hang off its body in different ways. You would see Ichi that as it sort of turns its head to you, the frays that are coming off sort of move of their own will and sort of point in direction in your direction. However, even as they see you round the corner, their eyes flick back to just on your left of the entrance, where you can assume Dante is. You can also see right there in front of the passageway the flecks of blood.
Yeah, Ichi will at least move to there. We'll kind of like turn. Be careful. They're here.
Oh, hello.
So the large room opens up, and you see Ichi as you enter. It is an entirely dome-shaped room with a flat floor, but a almost 20-foot high point at the pinnacle of the dome. Threads and strands and threads hang from the ceiling, and you can see some of them snaking around and moving. Small fires are already lit, and as you look over, you see Dante currently slashing through what all of you would recognize to be a closet, and bleeding heavily, breathing deeply. You look around for a second and see 2 more quasits sort of vying in towards him as they look over their shoulder towards Ichi, and it's about time you showed up. And you can see just there is as they sort of look, there is the orange-red shimmer of their eye and parts of their hair already aflame as the ginger hair caught up in the fire. They are bleeding heavily as they... I didn't know how long this vessel would keep going.
I'm gonna from behind Ichi, because I am a good bit behind him. I'm gonna go. Is this where we run away?
You can.
Can we have initiative, please?
1,000,000.
You are completely welcome here to decide to do whatever it is that you are going to do.
Jesus
18.
Christ. 6.
Okay.
I'm glad I
7.
took the alert feat.
You confused me then, by the way, Liam, when you were saying they look over their shoulder. I thought you meant the closets. And then I realised when you were talking about the red hair that it was Dante.
Now there's just, like the closets will just have red hair.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
what? Closets can talk? They've got hair? Like, what?
Looking at you like, hey, what you gonna do?
I always see gremlins in my head for some reason.
They kind of are. So, sorry. 15 to 20s.
18.
7.
6.
Oh no! Oh no! Guys! Not like
I'm just
this.
Frozen
8,
with
8,
fear.
7 have been my rolls so far today, so we're doing well. And I've got no spells still.
Oh shit.
Oh.
Oh shit. I
Shit,
completely forgot, and I'm tapped as well. I've got like one
You have
second level
you've
spell.
short rested, but yeah, you
Oh,
are
I
not.
have. Well, I won't get them back though, will I?
No.
No, you are not magically prepped. So.
Oh, damn.
Woo!
This was stupid. Okay.
I mean, we can't just leave him.
No, we can't.
This is how D&D's meant to be, using all your resources and then going into another fight and being like, what?
Evil DM. Okay.
Okay, so as you're, you have this
Damn.
quick exchange. Tenebrice is going to take the moment of distraction as the creatures sort of look from him to you to the three new entrants rounding the corner. I'm just going to...
Oh, goddamn Tenebrice.
I mean, currently we're probably going to be fighting, for at least a round, we're kind of fighting with Tenebrice, and I hate it.
I know. I'm like, so what? We're on the same side now? Like,
No, we are not on the same side. There are just...
That's the enemy of the enemy.
Hmm.
Oh,
Then
yeah,
what?
so the thread person is our friend. Maybe this is the play.
Oh, God.
Okay, so... so there's this moment of distraction as they almost just spit, and as they're spitting, their blood curls into a white hot flame that flies into the center of the room and goes off as they cast fireball.
This is Tenebrice doing this.
Tenebrice does this and centers it on the three.
Oh wow! Okay.
That are on the other side of the room. Can each of you give me a new perception as this goes off?
16. I'm a grandmother.
10.
Come
I've got a
on.
+7. I mean, oh my God.
5.
10.
16.
Okay, let's hope we're getting them all the way.
I mean, to be fair, Ichi is the furthest into the room.
Yeah, the fireball expands out over the room. You would see the two closets either side just and turn into that ash piles that you saw in the previous room. You would note it. You would so for the other two, this weird thread creature on the other side of the room just disappears into the flames for a moment. Ichi, you notice that they're moving to dodge but being engulfed by the flames, and they react somehow as you see threads almost grow up in front of them and take the hit. You would also notice, as you see this, that as the flames wash over, so where is you're noticing where the fireball hits on the floor, small embers are starting, smoldering bits on the floor and such. The altar was almost like it was firophobic, hydrophobic, but with the flames. It's like they didn't even touch the altar as it washed over them.
Right.
As he does this and the two quasits turn to ash, he will shout out, unless something is done about that altar, it will keep bringing them.
Okay.
He will then move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 to the other side of the room, moving away from the group. As they do on the 20 of the 20 initiative, Ichi, can you make me a dexterity save, please? As you not good for telepaths.
14.
Okay, so Volu, you're running up to the back of Ichi when you see one of the threads that was previously hanging loose comes to life and whips itself around Ichi's ankle. Ichi, you feel the movement and manage to pull free quickly enough so as not to be restrained. And as you look over, Tenebrae was like sort of running round to his left. And for you, Ichi, maybe even taking more note this time, there is more calculation, there is purpose. While it looks, and obviously there's the obvious things, even the way they're holding their sword, as a fighter, you would notice that Tenebrae is holding it as someone who was trained. Dante is almost muscle memory. It's almost that sort of untrained wild swing that happens to be in perfect form while he's doing it. But it's a lot more of a calculated stance. But as they're moving, they step, and again, one of these threads wraps around them. One hooks the leg, one hooks the arm, and they are restrained in their position. As you see them just these fucking threads. It would then be Ichi.
Ichi will begin stepping forward for 10, 15. What are you doing here, Tenebrae?
Out for a fucking stroll. What does it look like?
Looks like you're controlling my friend again. And I don't give a shit if you're here for good reasons or bad reasons. Let's face it, it's gonna be bad. Why are you here?
Are you spending your turn trying to talk? Because the others in the room are not going to let you. They're not going to let you just stand and speak. He's restrained. He's very happy to talk to you.
10, 15, 20. Upon getting to the 25.
As you try to step to that 25, can you give me a wisdom save, please, as you try to step into...
Wisdom. Oh, yeah, forget paladins have proficiency in that. That is a 18.
Okay, so as you go to step forwards, you suddenly, almost as if it wasn't visible until touching it, you suddenly come up against like a circular, spectral pink and purple barrier that and you manage to take the step forwards, but you can feel every step now towards that is going to be difficult, as even staying in position, your feet are sliding. And as this is happening, Tenebrae will be like, and therein lies the problem. So that only took 5 foot. That is 25, and you still are able to move.
I will step that one closer. Like, so if I move there, will that be next to the pillar?
Yes, and you will need to make another wisdom save.
Do well. Better, 21.
Okay, again, gritting your teeth and pulling. You can feel there's almost like, for the rest of you as you're looking, if you imagine there was like a polythene bubble, and each is just like pressing. You can see the indentation of each like clawing his way closer to the pillar. As you reach up to this pillar, it is entirely again made of this woven stitched fabric. But what you would recognize is that it looks to be the same fabric. It's almost the same design as what was given to Gertrude and Volu that was used during the magic contest. During the Weavers contest, sorry. Anything else from Ichi?
Ichi is going to attempt to take 2 slashes with their sword.
Oh, against the pillar?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll just go with 2 slashes. That's a 21 to hit.
Okay, you strike, and as you strike against it, it ricochets, and you don't hear that noise from the pillar, but your sword rings as if it's just hit metal.
For my second attack, Ichi will go for a throw the sword back to kind of like get it out of where the area is. And as the hand comes up, clicks up a little flap on their belt and disconnects their mace, and it's just going to go for that strike.
Okay.
Well, yeah, no. That's a 9.
So I will say, actually, so the 9 is enough to hit its AC. It's a standing still pillar. But again, same as, there is an even louder now, as you almost feel the magical mace is almost reverberating as if it was repelled magically. It's almost like the whole essence of it was...
What is this thing, Tenebrace? And then we'll end turn.
As you're saying this, why don't you ask the one who made it? He's coming right now. And as you sort of look up, the thread-like creature in front of you is already charging towards you at full pace.
That is unnerving.
As they are going to... Yes, they are going to do that. So they whip out towards Ichi with their first... they almost like whip their entire arm, and just all the dangling loose threads whip together in almost like a multi-tailed whip. Sorry, a 23 to hit you.
Oh yeah, that hits.
As the whip sort of across your body there. So Ichi didn't see this, but there is almost like, it feels like stones and something. There was not just threads in that. And Volu, I believe, was the only one that saw that there was like crystal gems sort of laid into the threading of the whips, but Ichi feels them as they rake across his body for 13 points of damage.
Oh! 13
Ow.
points of damage. Damn. Cool, go on, hit me again, Liam. I know you're gonna.
They don't, as all of a sudden that whips around you and you are grappled. You suddenly are becoming wrapped up, and where the whips hit you, the threads hit you, they're almost then coming to life and beginning to ensnare around you more. They will then 5 and they are going to whip out. You see that with the second like whipping arm, they almost so for each you would notice as they've sort of got you held with one arm and they whip out towards, they almost unstitch themselves at their back to extend the arm out the 15 feet so down on the currently restrained Tenebris. So an advantaged shot.
Yes.
So it definitely hits.
I swear to Christ, if Tenebris gets out because this thing kills Dante.
You see the whips across Tenebris's face as he spits. The vines don't see the threads don't seem to grapple Tenebris, obviously, as he already seems all trussed up and restrained. That is then their go. So it will then be. Sorry, I actually forgot to write this down because you were under the 10, but I know that it's Aeleni then Volley.
I got a 6.
I got a 7.
So it's
Okay, Volley
first.
then Aeleni. So Volley.
Seeing how far away it is, I'm gonna quickly grab my crossbow and then move. Let's say, how far away do I have to be? Not very far. Let's have a look. Yeah, that'll do it. Okay, yeah, so I'll move. What is that? 10, 15, 20 feet. 15 feet. And then try and fire the crossbow straight into the arm that's ensnaring Ichi.
Okay. Fire away.
Oh, sorry, no, hang on, did that wrong.
Yeah, roll to hit first.
Yeah. Oh, God's sake, 6.
Okay, the bolt just whips straight past the creature as it just leans its head, almost like parting bits of thread as the for the bolt to fly past.
There's not much else I can do. I'll just kind of scream over to Dante and be like, "Don't give up, Dante!"
There's just like a travel from that side as we come to Eleni.
Okay. 5,
Oh,
10,
what are these?
15, 20, 25, 30. Okay, I am first. Actually, Liam, is Ichi in the way there?
Yeah, I was gonna
I
say
need
you
to
were.
be.
I mean, you can shoot on your way if you're. You don't. If you want to
stop
finish
here
there.
first, right? And
Yeah.
I'll shoot here.
Okay.
So that's 20 feet, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Ish. Okay, so I am going to shoot with my longbow at the thread monster. That's a 24.
24 definitely hits.
There we go.
And sorry, let me do my damage, but then I'm going to do swarm stuff as well. So
Okay.
So that's 9 piercing. And then I'm not sure what's going to happen, but I'm going to try and I can move him, can't I, horizontally?
Mm-hmm.
But he's grappling Ichi. Is Dante Tenebris completely like looking like he's wrapped up and can't attack anything?
Yeah, he's like, well, I mean, he's restrained. His feet are off the ground.
Has he still got hold of his sword?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to move Thread Monster into Tenebris, up to him.
Okay.
With my swarm. So that if Tenebris can actually attack anything, he's got a nice Thread Monster to hit.
Okay.
I appreciate that might take Ichi as well, but yeah.
Or it might break. It might break his grapple because he's being moved.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
I wasn't sure whether it would or not.
Okay, I'm
but
gonna say you feel the tension in the threads, Dante, Ichi, but you do begin almost actually, Ichi, I'm gonna say, because they did roll a 22 to keep hold of you there, but it's almost like so there they begin to slide, the tension grips, and the second that you're not feet planted resisting this pushback, the actual altar starts to push you back as well, and that's what then finally drags you and you slide over towards that side.
Okay. And then I've got my second attack.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna shoot at Thready Boy again. 26.
Yeah, definitely hits.
That's 11 piercing that time.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna bonus action go invisible.
Okay.
And I'm gonna move my other 10 feet that way. So yeah, I'm hidey. I'm gonna stick that
Okay.
there.
And then as you're finishing your move, you see some more sparks crackle and sort of like almost as there's like two of the pink and purple sparks in the center collide with each other and spit off like a black bolt that mid-air turns into a quasit as it flies out, and you see a second bolt pop out the other side.
Lovely.
There's two more quasits pop into the room, although currently dazed and almost like you can tell that is not like a easy gate to go through, as they sort of like on the other side as they sort of like snapping out of whatever magic just happened to them.
Okay.
Top of the round, Tenebrace. So yeah, he will. You see that they're like still sort of trussed up and in this like weird held position. And as the creature like slams into them, they just turn their hands and their hands just light up and they burning hands outwards.
Oh.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Tenebrace! I thought we were friends.
So I don't think the grappled condition does anything for your deck saves.
No, it doesn't. That's restrained.
Yes. So can you make me a deck save, please, Ichi?
Tenebrace, you dickhead.
Chris would be loving this right now.
The creature, honestly, I literally messaged him this morning like, bro, you come in because you will get to play this out. And
you might get to kill Ichi.
But you see that the creature definitely wasn't ready for it as he collides and is almost like in a falling position when the flames fire outwards.
Ichi also was not ready with a 5.
Oh no.
Oh dear.
So each of you takes 11 points of fire damage.
Okay.
However, Ichi, at this close range, you see that the flames puncture through this creature, and you would be able to gather at this distance that it took double.
Ooh. Lovely.
And it is like, as it is just like completely aflame.
Ichi will just call out.
Tenebrace will just say to you, like, fire works quite well, but every time I kill it, another one comes out.
We need to stop the pillars.
That is all Tenebrace can do because they use their action to burning hands instead of breaking themselves free. Top of the round.
That was top of the round, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, sorry. No, it's always
on
confusing.
Initiative count
Initiative
20.
Yeah. Initiative 20. It probably would be. Yes. Ichi and Volu, can you both deck save for me, please? As again, the vines of the room come to life and start trying to wrap around your person.
10. Fuck.
6.
Oh no! As
No!
you both feel the threads. This is only this is restrained. As you feel the threads start to bind up your arms and legs.
I don't trust D&D Beyond before. Tonight I've had an 8, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. So I'm going back to old school actual dice.
Okay. After which, Ichi, you are currently grappled and restrained.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Ichi points their sword up to the sky above where the pillars are. And just kind of like mutters to themselves, let's see if this works. And with the force perspective of where they are, cuts a line in the fabric of reality above where the pillar is, and I'm going to cast Moonbeam.
Okay.
As that rip kind of splits open, rips, and then just moonlight comes
Okay.
blasting down. With my last second level spell. It does 2d10 radiant damage. I don't know if it affects it much, but
so the light of your moonbeam shines down, and Ichi, as you're sort of looking at this and able to see at this angle, again, it's almost like it looks like there's a little shield of shadow just sort of coating the whole of this pillar, and unfortunately, it does not have any effect.
Well, it's concentration for a minute,
It's
so
still
going to
open,
stay
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
We need to get through that barrier. Tenebrae, what do you know?
There's it. It's because it's not his turn yet, and until it is, he just smiles at you smugly.
I mean this with all my heart. Fuck you, Liam. Fuck you, Liam.
And after, is that everything, Ichi?
That's my turn. That's
okay.
my turn.
Yes. Okay. So the creature releases you, Ichi, and will turn around and just take 2. No, actually.
Oh shit! Yeah, I'm being held by the other threads, aren't I? Fuck.
Yeah, you're being restrained.
I was like, why does he do this?
You're no longer grappled, but you are restrained.
I'm not grappled, but I'm still grappled and restrained.
They reach down to the ground, and you see that, and I don't know how best to represent these. Let's represent these as them, but with markers. So you see they grab hold of large twinings of the rope in the floor. And
oh,
they are not full. They are almost like wispy, half-made versions, but they create 2 almost like thread clones.
Oh,
that aren't able to act, but sort of like I don't know if you've ever seen My Hero Academia, the paper guy that can make be like all unfolded, but they're sort of like a leg, and then it's sort of strippy to make the torso, and they're not fully formed, but they are there and standing.
This feels like cheating, Liam.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, I don't know why.
I didn't let the possessed man go in the corridor alone. You did that. I just took advantage.
What do you mean, let? What do you mean?
I sat here going, "Oh yes, please." But yeah, sorry. So after which it would be the Quasits.
They don't want to have a go. They're really bored. They're just going to sit down for a bit.
No, they're going to fly. One of them is going to fly down to Ichi. and tries to claw him. 17 to hit.
Yeah. Is it an advantage because I'm restrained?
It is.
Cool,
Thank you for the reminder. Oh, and then that 20. That is
Oh, why
that
did you
is
tell
so
him?
unfortunate.
Why did I say it?
I don't know why you said anything.
I'm my own worst enemy.
Yeah. 7 points of slashing.
I was more asking like, wait, is restrained
Yeah,
the
yeah.
It was more a curious question, and I was like, shit.
Can you make me a con save? This
Yeah,
is
I can,
versus
my
poison.
concentration. Oh,
no, this is versus poison. If obviously, I don't know if you're groomed on. If you are resistant or have advantage.
I'm immune to disease because I'm a paladin, but I'm not immune to poison. But that is still a 16 on the Constitution.
Okay, so you manage to shrug off as you feel, and then can you con save for the
concentration check?
Yes.
Moonbeam.
Yeah. What's the DC? It's just 10. 10. Cool. Yeah. 11. But
the other one flies up to Volu, who's the only person they can see, and Volu, they sort of fly down and swoop in front of you, and then they grab hold of their own face and just strip the skin off it and scream as they're going to attempt to frighten you.
I have advantage against being frightened.
So you can make me a wisdom save to use that advantage.
22.
You are not afraid, and as you sort of stand there, he like puts his face back on. It's like party pooper. After which, Volu. So Volu, obviously, there's all the things flying around. There's the fire going off. Ichi's sort of shouting, "We need to deal with the altar," and everything that seems to be thrown at it so far is just washing over it with no effect.
And I'm restrained, aren't I?
You are currently restrained, so it is an action to attempt to break free.
I'm probably going to have to try and break free to do anything of use. Okay.
So to be clear, obviously, just for a new player reminder, that any other sort of movement things you might have can also free you from a restraint that is, not moving with you. So you can get out of the restraint by teleporting, for example, if you have such abilities.
Which I do not.
If he had any spells left at all after the DM took them all away.
I mean,
I was going to ask, because I can. What's it called? What do I have? I can channel divinity.
You can
still, which means I've got one.
And if anybody has inspiration, I believe some people do.
I think Dante does.
Dante has inspiration.
I'm messaging Chris and saying this is TPK and you're not here.
Just don't say that. Just message him and be like, "Remember, this was your fault."
Yeah.
You made this character.
Okay. I'll try and break free.
Okay, so it's going to be athletics or acrobatics, depending on whether you're trying to squirm out or break out.
So, Liam, how much damage did I take from the not poison? Or was it just poison?
No, not poison was just 7. It was the slash.
7. Cool. I haven't added that in. Cool.
The dice not playing any better for you, buddy.
10.
No, unfortunately not. As you try to worm your way out, the bindings tighten. You've still got movement. Well, you don't have any movement, but you've still got your bonus if you wish to use your bonus for anything.
I can try and fire something at this. What's his name in front of me? Quasit. Yeah. I'm just gonna try and quickly let off the crossbow.
Oh, so you won't be able to do that as a bonus, unfortunately.
Oh, no, can I? I was reading it as dual action, 2-weapon fighting, but not.
Yeah, no, that's if it was a handy crossbow, but also you still have to use. Yeah, you still have to use your attack action to attack before you can.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
If there's not a lot Volu can do, throw me
all my bonus actions are linked to spells, and you feel tired,
can't do those. Tired and a bit exhausted. Roll me a Arcana. as you're sort of frustratedly stuck and stuck in this web of thread.
16.
Okay, so seeing how sort of you're like looking and you're looking at the closets and stuff and seeing how they've just popped out, you think that's still like a running, functioning spell. And maybe messing with, like, in the same way as messing with the parts of any ritual can mess with the spell. So there's maybe, like, rather than a damaging way, maybe there's a way to go in and undo what is being done.
And is the pillars made of?
Everything in here is thread.
Okay.
Everything's woven. The other thing, and I will say, as you're looking, as you're looking, Volu, you will notice. So there's all these like patchwork mismatch. Like the actual whole room looks like, like if somebody took all of their spare yarn and made a new ball of yarn out of it. That's what the room looks like. But the pillars are made from that purple and red ruby encrusted, entirely made of that.
Okay.
Okay, Eleni. Start the round, you become visible, right?
Yes, I think I do. I always think I'm going to be until I break, but I don't think I am I? I think it's when the end of
Not as the Furbolg one. Start of your next turn, I believe.
Yup. Okay, so yes, I become visible again.
So you can see, obviously, the Quasit trying to scare Volu. Volu just ignoring it and being like, trying to get out of the ropes that currently have him stuck.
I'm going to go 5, 10, 15, 20.
Can you wisdom save for me, please, as you make that last step?
Advantage?
Unfortunately not.
6.
And as you try to take that step forwards, there's like a pulse of like almost force throwing you backwards, and you are stopped in the space. You can't attempt to move into that space again until your next turn.
Okay, that didn't use any of my actions or anything though, right?
No.
Okay.
So it's just it moves you back here, and essentially this square is a no-go for you until next turn.
Okay. This might be really stupid. Can I, inside that thing where the altar is, what is all that stuff on the floor? What's all the black stuff? So on the picture, it's like you've got the pink and then you've got like the black.
That's all like lightning
Crackling
and energy in it. So there's basically 2 of these purple ruby encrusted threaded pillars, and in between them is like pink, purple, black crackling energy.
Is there anything else? I mean, I'll have seen spells.
There's nothing solid inside there.
There's nothing drawn on the floor.
Oh yeah, so the pink and purple sigils on the floor that you can see that is like smeared on the floor in like coloured chalk.
So it doesn't look permanent, basically.
No.
It's drawn. Okay, can I? And I'm happy to do an Arcana if you want me to see if I'd know this. But can I summon Mage Hand inside there?
You can try.
Okay, it's a cantrip, so yeah, I'm gonna try and I can do it within 30 feet, so I'm gonna try and cast Mage Hand inside the barrier.
Okay, the Mage Hand appears.
And then I'm gonna get the Mage Hand to rub out the symbols. Okay,
so there are 2 as you're looking. So give me an Arcana, more to figure out what is what, because you're seeing multiple stuff overlaid. And
yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'd take care. I think I'd just be like.
I mean, if you just want to start rubbing things, in which case, can you roll me a D100?
Yeah, just gonna start rubbing things out. 15.
Okay. 1 off, very bad.
Oh.
And then you just start scrubbing away blindly. And you feel, first of all, the compulsion that's telling you not to step forwards ends.
Okay.
There is almost like this powering down feeling in the room as like all of the air gets a little bit less vibrating.
Okay.
And then luckily only Eleni and some things, but can you make me a dex save, please? As all of a sudden, the energy that was only going left to right starts firing off in
It's an
around the
11.
room.
11.
Oh.
Okay, so Eleni, the highest clone creature, the Quasit takes 6 points of necrotic damage as you are struck with one of these like beams of energy. The third one dodges, and you see it sort of burns at the threads a little.
So that's 6 necrotic.
6 necrotic.
Okay. That's not as bad as I thought it could have been. So that was my action, and I've still got a bonus, yeah?
The Quasit disappears and turns into gloopy sludge.
Oh, that's good. In which case, I'm gonna bonus action invis again.
Okay, no worries.
And I'm gonna go right round this side. And my
Okay.
mage hand's still in there, isn't it?
Mage hand's still in there.
Okay.
As you finish your turn, 2 of those. Actually, roll me Lenny. Roll me a d10.
3.
Okay, so Lenny, can I have another dex save, please? As again, you see the crackling energy. What was energy that seemed to previously focus and coalesce into a Quasit now hits you before the Quasit becomes formed. And you're almost like paintball gunned with black, icky
Ew.
material. Okay. As you take, so Eleni, you take half, so you're going to take 4 of this. So Eleni takes 4. You see that each of the other clones take another full hit.
Okay. Does that mean I'm not invisible because I'm now covered in black goo?
That was not the intention of the effect of it, so I'm not going to say it disappeared.
It's fine if it is.
No, it wasn't to reveal you were in it. It almost like evaporates away. So, Eleni, the way it would evaporate away is the same way that you've seen creatures from other planes disappear when they die.
Okay, that's cool. I think that's everything I can do.
Yeah, and top of the round, Tenebris, who is going to attempt to get out of their restraint. Okay, so you see that Tenebris takes their sword and almost starting down what you see is Dante's most burned arm, they light up a bright flame that begins to snap away the threads and pull themselves loose. That is their action, though. They are going to move into flanking position with Ichi, and they will say, I think your friends have got it, but we need to disrupt the magic somehow. I just can't get anywhere near it. Maybe the altars. Undoing them, maybe. But they will prep into a standing position. So as he sort of steps and gets the creature between you, all of a sudden the threads that burst out and attacked you previously all like rise up and like completely cover the creature, bringing them in and spitting them out on this side of the where they think they're clear because Eleni's currently invisible.
Am I still restrained?
You're still restrained because that's the room effect, not them. So
Cool.
they were grappling you. The restrain is room effect. So you are no longer grappled. Eleni, for you, unaware of you, you see like the bulge in the threads and vines before it grows up. As you're looking at it this close, Eleni, it looks pretty injured. There's like loads of frayed and missing threads, and it doesn't look like it's having the best of times.
Okay.
After which, Quasit. So the one that is left is actually now going to try and just straight up claw Volu as it swoops down and tries to claw across you for a 17 to hit. So Volu, what's your AC?
Sorry, you said 17.
Yeah.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay. So you take 5 points of slashing damage. And can I get a Constitution saving throw from you, please? It's to do with poison, so if you have any effects with that,
I know. Goddamn poison Constitution saves. I know them too well. 11.
Okay, just shrugging off the effects of the poison.
You say 5 points of piercing?
Slashing, but yeah, 5. It might be piercing, actually, to be fair, but doesn't really matter. One of those normal types. It is going to Volu, and this would be disadvantaged, but you can take an attack of opportunity if you want. It is going to fly away from you to get some distance. It doesn't want to just be in grabbing reach. So it's a reaction if you want to take a disadvantage swing at it.
Yeah, why not? Disadvantage, you say? 14. 12.
12 still just hits. Do your damage.
Nice. 7 points.
Okay, and it turns into black goo and like on the floor.
Ooh, not too shabby.
Okay. After which Volu? Sorry, wait. No.
Ichi's not been, have they?
Ichi. So Ichi, if you want to break out of the room restraints, it is a athletics or acrobatics.
And that takes my action, doesn't it?
It does take your action.
I'm going to with the sword, kind of like, again, using force perspective of where the moonbeam is, kind of like puts the blade next to it, pushes forward, and I'm going to drag it over, and I'm going to move it so it's over this one, because I can, for my action, move it up to 60 feet. Okay. So I'm going to move it directly over this individual.
Is it when it enters it the first time, or is it start of its turn?
When a creature enters the spell's area for the first time, or on a turn, or starts its turn there. So both.
Okay, yeah. So it's
So
is it a dex from it?
It is a Constitution for Moonbeam.
Oh, okay. So only a 10 on the Constitution.
That fails.
How big is it?
5 foot.
Oh, okay.
It's like it's
cylinder, like a single square.
Yeah.
Cool. 2d10. That's a 5, and that's a 1. So that's 6 points of radiant damage.
Okay, as the radiant light hits it, it does burn up the creature, and the threads sort of fall to the ground limply.
As that kind of happens, I kind of look at Volu. Clear the path for you, buddy.
Okay, after...
What was that, sorry?
I've cleared a path for you.
Okay,
I had too much thread in my ears.
Yeah, after which Volu?
Sidebar. Alright, because I've used all the things. Cantrips are still okay though, aren't they?
Yeah. It's only spell slots that you can't do.
Okay. That changes how I'm going to approach things.
Cantrips, you can basically always pop them off.
So I can attempt. Let me measure this out. Oh, I can still get him. I am going to muster up what strength I have and kind of flash out with like a screaming grunt and cast Sacred Flame towards this chap here.
So dex save from him, and he's only got a 7.
That does not save him.
So your golden fiery light flies across the room, striking against the center of his chest, as you see the threads engulf in a golden flame.
8 points of damage.
Okay, and you, so Eleni, you would see most clearly, but you would all see the creature engulfed in flames and drop to the ground. The copy drops, and the restraints currently holding Ichi and Volu drop. However, Eleni, up close, the creature didn't drop and become like a body. It was into the ground.
Oh.
So it almost reabsorbed it before it, instead of where you've seen the others, like the two clones, they became loose threads that are now a pile over there.
Can I shout out? It's not gone in case anyone else didn't see that.
And Tenebris will say it will be back unless we deal with the pillars.
Yeah, I had a feeling that would be the case.
So Vola, you still got movement. That was just your action.
Yeah, good that it unrestrained me. What we got? I can move 25 feet, so 5, 10, 15, 20. Does that do anything at that point?
You don't feel any force trying to push you away.
I've not seen you move yet. Hang on.
And then, so I'm here currently at 20 feet.
Ah, there you are. Yeah.
So then, can I go here?
Mm-hmm.
And then, can I pull out my weaving kit and try to unweave the symbols out of the floor?
Okay. Give me a. It's going to be a sleight of hand with your weaving proficiency because you're trying to do this quickly. You're almost trying to like get to it and get through it.
8.
Okay, so I'm going to say that you start on stitching and there's like as things start to power down, but you are maybe 3 into a set of 5. So you know the energy's crackling down, it's getting lower, but you will need to use another turn. For the rest of you, you can see what he's doing as you see him sort of start, like almost. It's actually like, and for Ichi and Eleni who've seen the 2 different types, it's almost protecting from fast impact. And as Volu goes in slowly with the needle, he's able to pierce through. So Ichi and Eleni, you would get the idea. It almost protects from force swings. I don't know if you've seen June.
Yeah.
It's like it protects from quick impact rather than a careful, measured. You're muted, I think. Sorry, Beecham.
There's that material, like that ooblex kind of thing, where if you hit it, it's stiffens up.
So after Volu, Eleni.
So Volu's in the. Sorry, go on.
No. He was just making an inappropriate joke. It's good. Somebody's got it when Chris isn't there.
Yeah. Okay. I am going to move over to the edge here. Sort of here, maybe. I'm going to move further back because I'm scanning the room for this thing at reappearing. But I'll use my action to scrub away at some more symbols with my mage hand.
Again, just wildly doing it?
I'll try and do an Arcana this time while I feel I've got time, maybe. Not that my Arcana's very good, but 15?
Okay, so I think you would be able to identify that there's almost some of the sigils in the middle have other purposes, right? So
Okay.
like they've sort of, there's the summoning circle, and then in this section they've overlaid a thing that will focus the energies, and over this side there's probably the magic that protects the area and all that sort of stuff. And you manage to find like an area that seems to be interweaving all of them.
Right, yeah.
And begin to rub it away. I'm going to say that action means that Volu only has one symbol left to do.
Cool. Okay.
You basically remove one process, one bit of the area for spell for him to do.
And then I'm not going to go invis or anything like that. I've got my bow back in my hands. I can't hold an action, but I've got my bow ready just in case that thing comes back.
Okay, at the very end of the round, Volu, you're closest to it, and again, this time you see the lightning bolt strikes down into the ground, into this like central circle, and the vines like almost like regrowing the tendons and like muscles as it reforms itself. You would notice it already looks damaged as it comes out of the ground this time. Volu, I'd say from your proximity and your knowledge around these things, there's probably a level of how powerful it is tied to the energy of that's going on right now. You also note no quasits come out this time. There's no room firing. It's like all the energy did that. That is them. Top top of the round, Tenebrese. Tenebrese will 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 and move up to the creature, but seems to sort of like holding it at bay with the weapon, sort of staying steady. Again, you can see they're sort of breathing deeply, and the blood is sort of dripping from their arms and from their extended limbs. They will sort of say to Ichi, if we can hold it off a second, I'm sure once Volu's finished, it will this creature will drop. As we come to initiative 20, can this time Volu and Ichi? Actually, no, it's going to be Volu and Tenebrese because Ichi hasn't approached yet. So can you make me a dexterity save, please, as the vines from the room stretch out again now that its commander is here once more?
6.
And just to remind you, because now you're rolling real dice, it wasn't a nat 1, so that you don't get to re-roll it as a.
No, it was 4 + 2 for my dex save.
Beautiful. You see, Tenebrese gets a 7, so both Volu and Tenebrese are just like immediately stressed up again. Volu, you're just like. It's almost like you were just stitching into that last sigil, and it's like coiling around your arm and pulling you back from it. As we come to Ichi, I would say from this position, obviously you can see the creature, you can see the vines, you can also see the sigil that Volu is attempting to finish off. It's like the final one at the very, very top. And they're just like inches away with the needle that's gonna like unpick.
Okay. Can I use my action to free someone else?
Yes, you could attempt to.
Cool. Ichi kind of like steps up next to where Volu is. Do I need to make any save as I get there?
No, you don't. You feel now that from the rubbing away again, part of like there was other sigil magic, so there was a magical effect keeping you back that wasn't necessarily linked to the portal. They're just sort of inlaid into the same.
Yeah,
To make
other
it hard,
defenses.
And you would know for the magic users, when you use Dispel, if you just cast off a level 4 Dispel, it just does the highest level one there. Or like the lower, I don't know which way around it is as well, whether it's the lower. There's a way where you don't get to decide, it just picks one. So if you stack spells on top of each other in an area, you can secure it from a wizard just walking in and going, turn all that off.
Yeah.
There's almost level defenses there. So, but yes, you can move in. You can see this going on.
I will, as I get there, Ichi flicks their sword, and as they do, I'm going to be casting Searing Smite, so my blade just ignites.
Okay, nice.
And then I'm going to get down on one knee and just slice across where all the threads are reaching up and wrapping around Volu.
Okay, so I'm not going to ask for a attack. I'm going to ask for an advantaged athletics, as it's almost like the brute strength you're applying to it.
Yeah. Oh, so that's a 22. Do we get better? Nope, we'll go with a 22 rather than the natural 1.
Okay, as you strike across, almost like pulling the blade so that if it was striking at Volo, it'd be like inches away from the actual hit. But just the flicker and the force flicking the divine fire, which coats over Volo, you feel almost like a hugging warmth for a second as the vines just and disconnect from you. Ichi, anything else?
That's me.
Okay, the creature is going to step forwards and attempt to strike once on Volu and once on Ichi.
And Tenebrae stands there and lets him do it.
Tenebrae, yes.
Is restrained.
I mean, yeah.
But he's Eleni, you would note that. Yes, he does.
You know, at the end of the day,
He is restrained.
Does somebody want to roll me a D100? And Emma, can you pull up the crit fail table? Because he just rolled a critical 1.
I will happily.
As in like a blind
against
panic.
who?
Against Volu. In a blind panic as they rush forward, and you would see this, Ichi, there's become more desperate and more desperate as you're even as this, there's only this 1 point of energy still there. They're almost withering and depleting, almost like they're feeding off whatever energy is running through these pillars. And it's almost like wild animal instinct for a second as it blitzes towards you. So Volu, can you roll me a D100?
Yep, 59.
Okay.
59 is called own goal, so it's a failure.
Okay.
So he basically he steps in for an attack and sprains his ankle, and he's now at half movement.
Okay, so I'm gonna say that as they blindly screech in, the loose and frayed threads from their leg almost they rush up and brush Ichi as the flames from your searing strike are still going, and the leg just burns up, and some of the loose threads begin to catch alight as the strike whips wild against Volu, as they're then going to strike back towards Ichi with the second for only a 13. So Ichi, I believe a 13 doesn't hit you as you bring up the shield.
No, it does not.
Deflect away. And that is them as we come round to Volu. The Volu, the vines have whipped away. This thread monster is bearing over you, but you would also pick up that desperate animalistic attack when it saw you going towards the final thread piece.
I'm gonna go for carrying on threading and just hope that it doesn't hit me at some point. So what was it? Was it sleight of hand?
With proficiency.
Yes, with proficiency. So add you 3 for proficiency.
So plus 5 total. 16.
Okay, you begin working quickly, stitching and unstitching, pulling apart. The magic begins to crackle, the final bits of energy, and with almost a release of a snapping of a tight piece of string, you feel the energy disconnect. The creature suddenly goes limp, you would notice its body doesn't disappear. It goes limp and falls to the threaded floor, and all the lights dim to nothing, with only the small crackles of flame going on. And as everything's dimming, there is a well done. Now I suggest you sit and do nothing until I am ready.
At that point, I will cast Gust towards Tenebrae to push him as far away in the room as possible.
He was holding his action to cast once you were ready. So you are literally starting to bring up, and as you're bringing up, can you all wisdom saving throw for me, as he's just cast Mass Suggestion.
Oh. Ah.
You said,
No.
Did you say wisdom save?
Yeah.
Wisdom saving throw, please.
Shit. 6.
Do I get to re-roll on that one?
Yes, you do. Yes, you
Please
do.
roll
I also
highly.
rolled a nat 1.
Okay, that's much better. 24.
Ooh.
So the waves wash over. I'm going to say, Volu, you get off the gust and they start to push away. But as you look left and right, Ichi and Eleni are taking a seat and waiting their turn. And that is where we are going to end part 1 of this episode. Thank you very much for joining. As always, thank you very much for playing. If you want to find out what's going on, please hit the like and subscribe button so you know when the videos are coming out. If you are watching this after the normal date, episode 2 will be up here. Part 2 of this episode will be around here right now. And as always, roll well. Bye. This is the end of part 1. Part 2 airs Sunday 7 PM GMT, or will be linked in the top right of your screen now. Thank you for watching, and roll well.